welcome back. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to dive into today's episode because it's something that I personally struggled with. Today, we are going to talk about the woman who whispers or maybe even cries, I don't know who I am anymore. And maybe feels like I don't even know what I want. But before we dive in, I want to thank Jen for reviewing the podcast. She said each week of her podcast, I learned something new or through fresh eyes. I love how the content can meet you where you are in the process. If you're not listening to Dr. Steph, you're missing out. Now, clearly, you are listening right now, and I'm so grateful that you are. And if you have gotten any value from this podcast, would you be willing to give back in a small but meaningful way by leaving a review just like this? It will probably take you 20 seconds, maybe up to 60 seconds. And it helps so much. And I appreciate you more than you know every single time you take time to do that quick review. Now, back to the episode. This is for the woman who says, I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't know what I want, or at least has moments where that feels true. And if those words feel painfully true right now, I just want you to know that you are not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. You can figure this out. This isn't a sign that you're broken. You're just disconnected from yourself. That is okay, and that can be fixed. That can be addressed. We don't even need to say that can be fixed. That can be addressed. You didn't come out of the womb like this. You didn't come out disconnected from yourself. You knew what you wanted, and you were not afraid to ask for that. And there is nothing that has to get in the way of you getting back to that point. It's just something that's happened over time, maybe over years, maybe over a decade, maybe over multiple decades. And today, I want to help you understand why that happens for people, probably more often than you realize, and how to start finding your way back to yourself. So let's just start here. So many women I work with are high functioning on the outside. They're productive, they're caring, they're dependable, they're there for others. But on the inside, they may feel one or more of the following things, plus a whole lot of other stuff, but they may feel a bit hollow. They may feel just confused, adrift, stuck. It's like if they had a map before, they seemingly have lost that map. And that can bring up hopeless feelings. And in some cases, that could even feel terrifying because you can't hear yourself anymore and you can't trust yourself anymore. You can't make decisions with confidence anymore when you don't have that clarity about what you want. And that can create a life that doesn't feel like yours. And I've talked to so many clients who haven't been living a life for them. They've been living for somebody else, whether it's somebody else's dream or trying to make somebody else happy, always putting somebody else first. And that can feel like performing instead of living. And maybe you've never thought about it like that, but it's like living in survival instead of actively choosing how you want to show up from day to day. So, why does this happen? It's not a personal failing. It's not a flaw with you. It's definitely not the way that you are. It's a natural response to chronic stress, trauma, and social conditioning. So, I'm going to talk about several ways that it often develops. And I just want you to listen to these and think through, could this be true for me? Is this part of my experience? Did I experience this growing up or through my teenage years or in my adult years? First, you learned early that being good or pleasing others was safer than being yourself. And it was reinforced over and over and over again that there was a right way to feel and a wrong way to feel, a right way to think and a wrong way to think, a right career to aspire to and a wrong career to aspire to. And this happens for most in their younger years over and over and over again. I could honestly talk about that just this really good, bad, right, wrong, all or nothing for 30 minutes straight, maybe even more. What that does, though, when you want something on the inside and you're being told something different on the outside over time, that can result in a lack of self trust. It can result in a just really abandoning that part of yourself. Another thing that may be happening is you spent years meeting everybody else's needs before your own. And maybe you've been stuck in fight or flight so long that you're only thinking about coping, not about what you desire or what you want. Or maybe you've been so busy just trying to avoid pain that you forgot to feel what you want. Now, when your nervous system is dysregulated, it's not thinking about, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that self actualization at the top. It's thinking about survival. It disconnects you from your desires because that's the safest path, which silences what you want, what's true for you, so that you can keep the peace. And that process can just dim or dull your knowing so that you don't rock the boat. This is adaptation. It's not a weakness. This is a human thing that happens that you can address. And the problem with all of this is that over time, you forget. You forget what you love. You forget what lights you up. You forget what you actually want, not what you should want. You might even feel numb. Like there is not an answer when you ask, what do I want? You don't hear anything back. And that for some people can feel scary. And I've been there. I've been there not knowing what I want. And I promise you, even if you don't believe this for yourself, just trust that I've had this experience for myself and others enough times to know that this is true. There is still a part of you that knows. And it's reconnecting with that part. The truth is, you really have not lost who you are. She's not gone. She's just buried. She's protected. She's waiting for safety because your real self doesn't speak when you are bracing for danger. And if you've been in fight or flight, that's what your system has been doing, bracing for danger. She doesn't speak when you're drowning in self criticism. She doesn't speak when you're hyper focused on not wanting to disappoint someone. She needs safety to speak, and you get to control whether you feel safe or not. She needs space to come out, and she probably, at this point, if you're resonating with this, needs slowness to be heard. So, what can you do? How do you start finding yourself again? I'm going to give you a few steps that I highly encourage you take if you resonate with what I've been talking about. First, regulate yourself before you start interrogating yourself. If you're in fight or flight, or you've been in fight or flight, you cannot hear your own truth. You can't figure out what you want while your body is convinced that you're under threat. Pause, breathe, ground yourself, place your hand on your heart or your belly and remind yourself, I am safe right now. This is the foundation. And if you know that you've been stuck here and you want deeper support to truly recalibrate your nervous system and get out of fight or flight, Brave Academy includes my proven Brave breathwork nervous system recalibration protocol to do that exact thing. Highly recommend it. Number 2, get curious. Get curious, get curious, get curious. I can't say it enough without demanding clarity. And I've made this mistake too, wanting clarity sooner You can bring yourself back to knowing that it will come. Instead of asking, what do I want? Instead of telling yourself, I don't know what I want. Those can feel big and maybe even paralyzing. Ask, what feels good to me right now? What do I notice I'm drawn to? What do I notice I feel excited about? What would even bring me 5% more ease or peace or fun in this moment? It doesn't have to be big, but desire is built from small, honest yeses over and over again. Next thing is separate the wants from the shoulds. So many women can only name what they should want. And I'll fill in should, even though they're not going to say it like this. You're not going to say it like this. If this has been you, probably. I should want stability. I should want a family. I should want to make everyone happy. I should want what they want for me. I should go on the vacation. I should have the conversation with the person. I should. But what if you let those go? What if you asked yourself, and I was coming from a place of self trust, love, what would I want? That question alone can really crack something open for you. So spend some time with it. And then finally, give yourself permission to want things that you're not ready to act on yet. Sometimes you'll discover something that feels true, but simultaneously also feels terrifying. Have you had that experience? That's okay. That's actually relatively common. You might want more rest. You might want a different career. You might want a healthier relationship with somebody else, or a relationship to end, or a healthier relationship with yourself. You don't have to make all of the changes today. There can be a part of you, and that's a protector part of yourself that doesn't want you to know because it thinks that you have to take action right now, but you don't. That's another choice. You get to discover what you want, and then you get to choose what you want to do with that information. So I'm going to repeat this. Just because you allow yourself to know doesn't mean that you have to act on it today or ever if you don't want to. You don't have to change anything right now or everything today, but you are allowed to name it. And naming what you want, naming that desire is the first step in rediscovering yourself. So, one more thing. If this topic has been hitting home with you, and if you're realizing, okay, I don't even know where to begin, please hear me. You're not supposed to figure this out alone. Disconnection is a survival strategy that you learned in relationship. Reconnection happens in safe relationships too. And I just told a client that earlier, or maybe it was last week. I was going to say earlier this week, that we experience trauma in relationship and we heal in relationship. And that's one of the things that we do inside of Brave Academy. We don't just throw affirmations at you. I guide you to regulate your nervous system so that you can get out of survival mode and actively rediscover yourself. We create safety that you need to listen inward and to finally hear yourself again. We help you remember you are someone worth knowing. You're someone worth choosing. You're someone worth wanting, because the world doesn't need you to be more perfect. It needs you to be more of you, of who you truly are, without the defensiveness, without the insecurity running the show. And I'm emphasizing that point because there was a part of me for years that genuinely believed that I couldn't show people who I really was. I thought all of the not so shiny and the yucky parts of me, the one that had explosive reactions and the one that broke down and the one that didn't respond well to situations and the one that was highly emotional and couldn't stop crying. I thought that's who I was. It wasn't. That was all self protection. If this episode, anything from this episode has resonated with you, I would love to hear what it brought up for you. DM me or share your biggest takeaway. You can do it on Instagram or on Facebook or put it in a review on the podcast. And if you're ready to stop living on autopilot and truly come back to yourself, send me the word academy on Instagram or on Facebook and see if it's a good fit for you. Until next time,